you love to play. Oh, you love to play. Don't your comments won't relay. Sign this on my page for you. Oh my God, he changed. Young life, I can't see back karma. I just need some brains so I could keep myself in order.
He got problems, she got problems, only I got 411 problems. Hey, hi, what's up, y'all? It's time for another story time, and I can talk about this case because I think it's completely over. Let me double check. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. What's that? I don't know. I don't know. I thought I don't think I want to tell the story yet until I know this case is officially closed. And right now, I don't know. Hold on. Let me do this. Hold on. What? I was reading something else. Hold on, let me see. Is this it? Let's, So we're gonna put a pin in this story Until I do a little more research. Skip to the next title on the list for now. Okay. He got problems, she got problems, only I got 411 problems. Hey, hi, what's up, y'all? It's time for another story time, and I think I have cleared up whether the case is closed or not.
You sure about that? You sure about that?
Yeah. Anyway, so let's get into it. So, as I stated, I think in the previous clip that there was an unaliving in my hometown. Now, in my hometown, again, those who know, everybody at this point in time, everybody knew everybody. Like, we were real small, real knit community, and it was a lot of us. It was a lot of us. A lot of us have now moved away. I'm noticing like it's not the same as it was when I grew up down there, so it's a little different. But anyway, there was an unaliving, and it was this man like was well known, like very sweet, party starter type individual, but he was very well known. So when he went missing, of course, everybody in the town is like, what's up? Where that man at? Because again, our town is small, so when you don't see a person for a while, like, you know something's wrong, especially if they live down there. You know something's wrong. You know that person haven't moved away. You haven't confirmed with their family, like, hey, did they move away or whatever? You know something's wrong. So they're looking for him, and we're looking for him for 2 days. So yeah, so when they find him, unfortunately, he is unalived, and he's in a shallow grave. So they're trying to figure out, of course, what happens. So of course, everybody knows, like, when you're in a situation like that, the people who do things like that, you don't talk. And in a small town, like, all you have to do is tell one person. All it takes is one person. Well, out of the individuals who supposedly was involved in the unaliving, one of them talked. And so, because they violated probation, so they were in jail. And so they had decided, like, enough was enough. They were going to talk because according to street committee, one of the people out of the 3 was threatening to unalive the other 2. Like, it was a threatening situation. So of course, the young man who decided to talk was like, I would rather take my chances with protection than to walk around with no type of protection and, going off the word of the person who's threatened to unalive me. Because it was like, if you snitch, like, snitches get stitches, that saying, which I think is absolutely crazy. And y'all be all for that until it's your family member or it's somebody that's really close to you that you want to know what happened or you want to know why. Crazy. So anyway, yeah, so one of the dudes decided to talk. So he talked and started telling, like, the events of what happened at that night, right? And once you started telling the events, reading the article, it doesn't coincide with what the street committee was saying. But then again, street committee is like playing telephone. Once they get to one person, and when that person it gets another person, and that person it gets another person, you're going to get different versions of the story. So the only people who really know what happened are the 4 people that was there, the person who was unalived, and the 3 people who took part in it, and Jesus. So that version of the story that he was telling, of course, wasn't coinciding with what the street committee was saying, but it's the simple fact that he's talking, so the police is taking what they can get, right? So lo and behold, like, when I found out nothing in the story is funny, I'm laughing at because I said lo and behold, and I realized that that's just like my catchphrase. I realized I say it in all of my stories. That's why I laughed. Anyway, so it's getting around like, that you were the one that talked, but there's so you're supposed to be in so-called protective custody. So you're conferring with your lawyer. And once I found out who the people were, and I knew 2 of the people out of the 3, one of the people, the person that's talking, again, I don't think, like, you know how we always say, like, that's my boyfriend, that was my boyfriend. Middle school, elementary school, dating for 2 months. I don't really say boyfriend, but it was like, okay, boyfriend. But that's how I know him. It was like, oh, he was my boyfriend for like 2 months in middle school or whatever. So how it all plays out and how I found out, like, the situation, you were dating somebody that I was really close to at one point in time. I need to tell this story time. I was close to at one point in time. And so as the case is coming up, she's starting to say, like, I need to find, like, this information. I need to get this in order. I need to get this stuff together. I need to figure this out. Like, I just need to figure out what to do. And so I was like, wait, you have information? And so she was like, no, not really. I really don't have information. She was like, it's just, I'm involved now because the one who talked showed up at my house. I said, wait a minute. She was like, yeah, like, you showed up at my house, and I said, he showed up at your house like days later. So she was like, no, like the night of. I said, so he was running from the police? And so she was like, no, he was hiding from the one who's threatening his life now. And I was like, oh, okay, gotcha. And so she was like, you know, he was scared, he was crying, he was going on and on about, you know, like, what had happened. And so she was like, girl, I remember how he showed up. I remember looking at his shoe and seeing certain things on his shoes. And I was like, oh, wow. And so she was like, so I need to try to get this stuff together because I need to find out, like, how this is going to affect me. And so I was like, so you don't have a lawyer? This story is short. And so I was like, so you don't have a lawyer? And so she was like, no. And so she was like, and I don't want people to know, like, I'm involved. So I don't even know how to look for one. So at this time, I had a huge following on my Facebook. This status is no longer on my Facebook because I got hacked, so all this stuff is gone. So you can't go look for it, I don't think. Anyway, so I had a huge following on my Facebook, and then I also had a huge following of people in my hometown. So I was like, girl, I got you. I don't mind putting out there, like, hey, I'm looking for a criminal lawyer. Because that's literally what you need. I was like, that's what you need. So I don't mind putting out there, like, I'm looking for a criminal lawyer. So she was like, you don't mind? And I was like, no, I don't mind at all. So she was like, okay, yeah, can you do that for me? Because we were also friends on Facebook at the time. She's no longer on my Facebook. We were also Facebook friends at the time. So it was like, girl, yeah, I don't mind. Yeah. So I went and put the stuff on Facebook, like, hey, I'm looking for a criminal lawyer. Of course, here come people. Girl, what did you do? I ain't got time for that. That's not the point. The point is, if you got a criminal lawyer, drop the names down. And I do that a lot for a lot of my friends, and for a lot of people who be like, hey, can you look or can you ask? Because a lot of times people don't want you to know, like, stuff that's going on with them, or they're ashamed, or they don't want to ask questions. It's like, I don't want to ask questions. So I was like, psh. And people started dropping names. And so this one lawyer, it was literally like, his name kept showing up over and over. So at the time, because we were Facebook friends, so she was able to go look. Like, I was like, you ain't got to say nothing. You just go read the comments and go from there. So she went and read the comments, and then we dropped it. Like, we didn't say nothing else about it. I didn't ask nothing else about it. I just left it alone. And so when I saw that they were going to trial, like, to get everything played away, like everything out of the way, and finally close the case to get justice for the family, I hit her up and I was like, girl, how did this play out? Like, what happened? Like, everything cool? And so she was like, well, yeah, I was clear. You know, I just had to say what I knew. And, you know, put that out there. And I was like, oh, man, I guess I couldn't imagine, you know, I guess that was real scary. And so she was like, yeah, she was like, well, you know, I appreciate you for, you know, doing that. Because she was like, I really just didn't know where to start. And I was like, yeah, that's real. And so she was like, you didn't even think twice. Like, you didn't think, like, maybe that would come back to you. And I was like, for asking a question about a lawyer? And so she was like, but you know stuff now. And I was like, but I don't know a lot. I know what the papers know. I know what you told me, but you didn't tell me. I'm pretty sure you didn't tell me everything either. And so she was like, I actually did, but I ain't tell y'all everything either. Anyway, but yeah, so I was like, oh, okay. I was like, but nah. And I was like, it is what it is. Like, what could you do? I guess because, you know, like, I've been dealing with certain stuff all my life. So it's like, girl, if anything I can help, what is it gonna bother? What is it gonna bother? So yeah, I really don't know what that man got sentenced. I've been looking for it, so I'm gonna keep looking for it before I upload this story. I'm looking for it, but he did get. Do I want to do that? Nah, I probably don't. I probably don't. I don't. I'm not gonna. I know he got sentenced and the case is closed. Let's just put it like that. I love you the most because you're definitely the dopest in real life, and that is the end of looking for the lawyer. Yeah, yeah. I know y'all like, girl, why you? Yeah, this case is closed. The other case, that the other thing, when I was like, I'm gonna tell y'all, no, I'm not saying a mup.